Did you see that? I saw something that Brandon was going to be on the morning show or something on network TV.
Oh, I didn't see it. Wow, that's
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
Nice. So anyway, the question is, when someone says to you, let me think about it, what are
What are you?
you actually thinking? What are you thinking when somebody says to you, let me think about it? What comes up for you?
You
Yeah.
know, that they're just putting you off and that is just an
I
excuse to not say, to basically, I think that they're going to say no.
Okay.
I think they don't have certainty and they need more information.
Okay. So your thought is they simply don't have certainty. They have more information. They need more information. For you, it's that they're leaning towards no, but they're afraid to say it.
Right.
Right?
Mhm.
That's how
Okay.
Yeah.
I would agree. That's how
That's
I
where
would
I am
say if
too.
they were
And there's
leaning.
no right or wrong here. It's just what you think, right?
Yeah.
And so I was trying to think, what is it that I think? I also think that they have some objection, not that they're going to say no necessarily, but there's something that's up for them that they're afraid to say. And then that my job then is to help guide them to what they want to think about. So when somebody says, and he didn't ask this question, but as a continuation of this, when somebody says, let me think about it, what is it that you say? We know what you're thinking, but what is it that you say?
So I asked them another question.
Like,
Oh, sorry. Do you want to? I'll put my hand up. Sorry. Go
okay,
ahead.
Beth, go for it. And she just raised her hand. You don't even have to do the reaction. I can see it, but that's good, Caprice. Beth, what were you going to say?
I was just going to say I have a tendency to blurt out more information. Like, oh, this will help them. Oh, did you know about the NSF certification? Oh, did you know about all the research? Like that kind of, so I keep going.
So your go-to is keep going, give more information.
Yeah.
Okay, great. And Caprice?
I would ask them a question.
And what might the question be?
The question would be, can I help you uh, with more information that would help you make a decision, whether it's yes or no?
Okay, so can I help you make a decision by giving you some more information? So that's a
Right.
getting
Or answering
permission.
another question, what will you be thinking about that will help you solidify your answer?
Yeah, that's where I would go. It would be, and it would be, what are you thinking about? And I might say, so what kinds of things will you be looking at? Rather
Right.
than
Yeah.
saying the word thinking again, just saying it out loud, what will you be looking at to ponder whether this is right or wrong for you?
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
really, what are you going to be looking at? How are you going to
Yeah.
go about this process, or how are you going to go about the process about this to make a decision, whether it's good or bad for you, whatever. Yeah, Heidi.
Well, I would kind of go along the lines, but go straight to the point. Hey, I'm curious, are you open to sharing what it is you need to think about?
I
Yeah,
like
Maybe
that.
I may have the answer for you.
yeah, that's great. And let's just assume for a second, Heidi, they go, well, I'm not really sure. I just kind of need to think on it. Because that's what people, if they're not sure. So then what might you say?
Okay, that sounds like, just sounds like you need more time. I'm curious, are you open to me reaching back out to you in a couple of days
Okay.
to hear what clarity that you have gained?
Yeah. And that's a good one too. What clarity? And you even can ask if they said, I want to think about it more. You might even say, it sounds like you're really uncertain and you need more clarity. That could be a place to
Yeah.
go right away. It sounds like you're uncertain. You need to think about it. I totally appreciate that. I've been there before. So,
Mm-hmm.
I've been there before. So, is there something that I can help you clarify that might make this easier for you?
Mm.
Those are some other ideas. Make it easier for you to clarify. People like that. Beth.
Yeah.
I think that what I'm thinking about a lot is there's this fine line between continuing asking, can I help you with get that answer? Can I help you get that answer? Instead of just respecting somebody's response, there's like a fine line. Like if I've asked them, you know, can I help you? Is there something that that you're thinking about that maybe that I could help you with? And they say, no, I just need a little more time. Then great. Okay, thank you. Well, how about this? I'll reach back out to you in a couple weeks or in
Yeah.
a week or whatever.
Yeah.
And that's it. Like, let them just ponder. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like
But let me ask you a question,
sometimes I
Beth.
don't do that.
Yeah. And I think that's okay. But I'm going to come back to you saying, if in fact what you're thinking is that they already think it's too expensive, my husband won't let me do it, I don't think this is real. if you're already thinking that they're kind of leaning towards, no, or
Mhm.
or they have objections. They have objections. If that's where you're thinking, then the pondering or letting them have more time to think doesn't really make any sense if you're thinking they have an objection. So,
Well,
and
can I
now
respond
because
to
you
that?
said, yeah, go for it.
Yeah, that's my thinking exactly. However, my word this year is surrender. So I have been really trying to let go
Let
of
go
the
of it.
outcome and not try to control it, right? So if
Yeah.
I can give them the most information I can, my thought is that they're thinking about, like, here's a perfect example. I had a sourdough workshop last Sunday. I had one woman who I was like completely counted out. Like she is not gonna even talk to me about this. She's not gonna move forward. She's not interested. She sends me a message at the end of after I sent her the follow-up message with all the information. And then she replies, she says, "Hey, I want to get to to the two drinks we tried, which was the superfoods and the prebiotic." And I'm like, I had no idea that was coming,
Right.
right?
Right.
So I find that I have to be careful of what my judgment is of those people's decisions. Some people just can't make a decision right away. Some people want more time. I have to stop putting whatever my thought is into them. Do you know what I
Yes,
mean?
I see. So what I'm saying is, but if you came to them purely out of curiosity rather than an agenda,
Hmm.
purely out of curiosity, so that you don't have an agenda, is it, that yes, there are people that just need more time. They really do. They just need more time. They just
Yeah.
can't make a decision. That's me. I'm not a good decision maker. I put off making a decision to the last second, and it's not because I think it's a good or bad thing. I don't want to commit. I just don't want to commit. But but if you were genuinely curious about what that meant to them, what does it mean thinking time? And even if you said, for me, when I say I need more time, it's because I'm not good at making the decisions. For other people, it's because, I don't know, maybe they're not sure about the cost and they want to think about that more. Is anything in this realm close to what thinking about it means to you? And they go, no, I just need time, you're done. So I think surrender is great. I think everything you said is great. And I'm
Yeah.
just wondering if surrender also means give up quickly. And there's
No,
a fine
no,
line between that also.
no, I think we're kind of saying the same thing. I just said there's a fine line
Yeah, I
between
agree.
when you just shut the
Yes,
fuck up. Oh,
yes,
sorry. Just
yes.
stop talking, just let them go and let the situation go,
Yeah.
like let that outcome. But I do believe that we need to ask the questions. And if that's like the one question is there something I can help you, whatever you were just saying was perfect.
Yeah.
Like, do these,
Yeah, does
anyway,
this fit in your realm? I even think saying some of the things that we know when people saying,
yeah,
I need to think about it, you just say, I don't know if this is true for you or not, but I know when I do it, it's this. When other people do it, they
yeah.
tell me it's because they want to tuck their husbands or they want to look at more
Mhm.
research or whatever. I don't know what that is for you, but is there anything in that where I could help? And they go, nope, I just need more time. And you get to say, okay.
Yeah,
So there is a fine line, but I think it's important to see if you can clarify what it means to them.
100%.
Baby. Oh, sorry.
Go on. Oh, you're talking to the cat. I liked his eating this morning. I did like that sound.
Oh, him licking on his
Yeah,
nacho. That was
it was so cute.
yesterday. Yeah, he
So
was laying.
funny.
I would never usually do this, but he was laying on the bed and he just looked so cute. I was like, want a nacho? And he's like,
Yeah, it's really cute. All right. So we're going to get back over to Ashley. Good morning. We know you're going to do your story this morning. So, uh, and what I was doing earlier is, Brandon is, and I've got two more questions that I picked out that I thought it would be really fun to talk about. These are great prompts to have conversations with distributors. Forget the leaders having these answers because I don't know that there is an exact answer for any of this stuff. But Brandon sent me a list of questions that were possible that could be asked on the Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday event that he's putting on, and I picked just three of them that I thought would be fun for us to talk about today. So anyway, but in the meantime, let's do your story, Ashley.
Yeah. And I'm so sorry. Is the call now 8:30? Because I still have it at 8:45.
Yes, and so funny because last week I did the 8:45 thing and everybody said to me, it's been 8:30 for a while. And this week you came on and you came, yeah, I know. And I did the same thing. I said, oh, I kind of remember that. I kind of remember it. And then you came on, I said, I bet you she's in the 8:45 tunnel that I was in last week.
It's been
Yeah.
almost a year.
Serious. It's never been, then I've been late to every call because it's never been changed in my calendar.
It's not been 8. You've been on this with me at 8:30, but it's not been a year we did
Yeah.
8:30.
It was
probably been
It's getting
several months.
close.
It was when Leslie said her
Yeah.
season or something was changing. Could we go to 8:30? I don't know when
Yeah.
that season
Oh, yeah. Now I remember.
So
My
it was
brain is
something.
complete mush.
Well, mine was
But-
mush last week with no reason, Ashley. I was just 8:40. It was in my I never changed it from 8:45 to 8:30 for whatever reason. And I looked and I did that. And then I got a text from Heidi probably saying we're on. I'm going, we're
Mhm.
on. Why are we on? Anyway, same thing. So you're good. You're all good. Yeah. So
Okay.
do you want to just share just for a second? I saw all the boxes in the living
Yeah.
room and all the rooms and everything. And oh my
Yeah.
God, poor Micah with the tell them about Micah. Oh my
I know.
God.
Well, that is why my brain is mush. So, yes, obviously last Friday I couldn't make the call because my son has these bumps all over his body. Took him to the quick care. They could not figure it out. They tested him for everything. Everything came back negative. So they sent us home and, just do Zyrtec and Benadryl. Okay. Well, then it starts getting worse. And then Sean's out of town and let me back up. Last Saturday night, we moved the last bit of stuff out of our home into this temporary housing that we're living in until September. So boxes everywhere. And then we take Sean to the Portland airport. He's gone for the week. Then we come back. Then we're trying to figure out Micah, boxes everywhere. So it's just like survival mode. So then I take him back to the quick care and the doctor's like asking all the questions like fever, no. Sore throat, no. She's like, okay, this is a last ditch effort and I guarantee you it's negative, but I'm just going to test him for strep. Okay. 20 minutes later comes back, okay, positive for strep and he has scarlet fever. That's what these bumps are. She's like, I know it's like from the 1900s and people freak out about it, but it's just a skin reaction. And it's so weird. I would have never guessed it because he has no other symptoms. So I'm going to prescribe you penicillin. Is he allergic to penicillin? I'm like, God, I hope not. Because this has just been so much. So, yeah, so he's
I
been
know
taking it.
you said scarlet fever, and I thought, wasn't that from 100 years ago or something? And does nobody gets that anymore? And isn't it really dangerous? I guess it's not super dangerous if you catch it and you have penicillin.
I don't know. All I know is like, even my client laughed at me yesterday because people just don't get it. I was like, this is like supposedly a super high contagious thing. And both of my other siblings are fine, or the other kiddos are fine. And I told the lady, I said, well, my kids have had Juice Plus since the womb. And she just like laughed at me. And I was like, laugh all you want, but but then it was really nice. She came back. She's like, please forgive me for my response. She's like, that was not okay. So I really respected that.
Yeah, good.
Because I do get it. Like if you don't know about it and you
Yeah.
think, oh, this. So I go, the only thing I can say is whenever a kid catches something, nobody else gets it. And she got wide eyed. I'm like, yep, I'm telling you, it's just good things in your body.
That was the number one thing that always blew my mind because I remember when the kids were little, one kid would get it, the other kid would get it. I would get it last, and mine would be the worst because I don't know why. By the time it gets to you, it's tripled its effect. And after we had Juice Plus, one kid would get something, and that was rare anyway, and no
Yeah.
one else would get it. And the only difference was Juice Plus. So,
Oh, yeah.
you know,
This is the first sickness for a year and a half.
yeah,
Like it was the worst flu season here in Albany. It shut our entire co-op down and we didn't
Yeah.
get it. And people are like, what do you mean you didn't get it? I'm like, just plus.
yeah.
I
And
do
didn't
know
get
someone
it
that's
either.
had scarlet fever.
You what?
You've had scarlet fever?
No, I have not had it myself, but I
Oh.
had my cousin had it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Don't
so
you?
I am familiar with scarlet fever. It's not an ancient disease for me.
Oh, yeah. I know,
Well,
but
it's
yeah.
not for the people that get it for sure, because people still can get
Yeah.
it. But it is an ancient, that's why your doctor said this is going to really surprise you because
Uh-huh.
this is an ancient disease. Very few
Yeah.
people get it anymore. Anyway,
Yeah.
all right. So you guys take out pencils. Let's get ready to help Ashley with her story. I don't even have the outline of the story thing in front of me, which probably would be a good idea. But let's see if we can naturally do this.
Okay. Ready?
Yes.
All right. I was engaged to be married and visiting my mom a week before the wedding. My allergies were worse than usual, and my mom handed me 2 bottles, one red, one green. She said, just take it. It's fruits and vegetables, and it will help. Like any good daughter, I listened and started adding it to my daily diet. When I ran out on my honeymoon, I was hooked. Not only did it help my allergies, but I experienced more energy and felt good knowing I was putting good things in my body. I told my husband he needed this. In the back of my head, I knew we wanted to start a family sooner rather than later. And a desire of my heart was to stay home with our children. But I knew we needed a dual income to make this dream a reality. It was at that time my mom shared that I could share Juice Plus and earn an income. I was hesitant as I had never started a business, but my desperation led me to say yes. As I had my first child, I was able to be there for first words, first steps. And when my second son came to the picture, he had eczema so bad he would make himself bleed with itching. I heard Dr. Sears' pediatrician share about opening the fruit and vegetable capsules and feeding it to your baby. I had tried everything else and felt hopeless. Watching my baby suffer, it was more than I could bear. His screams were silenced after only 1 month of adding Juice Plus to his diet. How could I keep this to myself? I knew there were so many other mamas trying to find answers for their kids' health issues. We as moms don't have time to live frustrated and fatigued. There is hope. What I found when I said yes to eating and sharing Juice Plus was a loving community who truly cared about others. I found answers to our health issues even before they appeared. I found a vehicle to keeping my priorities first while still creating an income. There will be sickness and disease we will never get because of this product. I get to serve my family and community. I get to be a positive light in other stories. I took a leap of faith and said yes, and my family, as well as so many others, will never be the same.
So I think you covered a lot of great stuff. I'm going to ask you to do something now.
Okay.
Ready? I want you to put that paper down so you can't see it.
Okay.
And tell your story again without looking at it.
Can I take just a minute? I'm so like,
Yes.
yeah, it's been a week of 11 p.m.s.
Oh my God.
12 p.m.
And Ashley, if this is too much for you right now, just say it's too much. I know you committed to today, but oh my God, you should see the room filled with the boxes. And then knowing in September, you're going to have to pack everything back up again. I mean, that's where my head goes. I'm sorry. I don't know if that's where your head goes. But
Now it does. I'm just joking.
yeah. Yeah. So did you say it never does, or what did you say?
No. I said now it does.
Oh, I'm sorry. Shit.
No,
I'm
no.
so sorry.
No, we have a lot in storage already, but already
Oh,
boxed.
good. Oh,
So
good.
that'll be, yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, so
Yeah.
if you, so if it's like to be on the spot is too much for you, I totally will honor that.
Yeah. I mean, I could try.
Try it. Just try it. Tell your story without looking at it.
Okay.
And don't try to remember how you wrote it, just that you started
yeah.
with the marriage and then the honeymoon
Okay.
and then having kids, like the bullet points. Go from the
Okay. So I'm trying to even think of how to start it.
You started with your mom offering
I
you
know,
the.
but I remember when, okay.
So,
Yeah.
I would just
I
think
might,
about
I
like
might
what
say to
comes
you, Ashley, if I were to
naturally.
ask you, Ashley, how did you get started on Juice Plus? Like, how did that even happen?
Yeah.
What was going on in your life when you got
Okay.
started on Juice
Yeah.
Plus? Just
So
answer me that question.
Yeah. I was engaged to be married and I was visiting my mom a week before my wedding. And my allergies were at an all-time high. And my mom just handed me 2 bottles, one red and one green. She said, it's just fruits and vegetables. Take this. It's not gonna hurt. It just might help. And so I started taking it and I noticed more energy right away. I noticed it helped with my allergies. And unfortunately, I ran out on my honeymoon, but by that time I was hooked.
Okay, keep going. Now, but I'm gonna stop. How
Yeah.
many of you felt the total difference between this and her first time? Did you guys feel it, notice it?
Yeah,
It
I
was,
really liked the first time, but yes, I love her eyes looking straight at us. I can tell it's real and
it felt
not
very
just
much more real. And some of the stuff that she left out, which was fine in the first story, but as all good kids, as all good daughters do, they do what their mother said. And as blah, blah, blah. It was though, she was writing for someone to read it,
Right.
not saying it to talk it. And it was,
Right.
you made me laugh this time too. You said, and I ran out on my honeymoon. Like,
Mhm.
I was like, oh my God, that was a bad time to run out. It made me laugh. There were some things that you said.
Yeah.
So what my suggestion would be is take what you wrote, write only the bullet points down. How you
Okay.
introduce, just the very bullet points, and then let it go. Don't try to
Okay.
ever read it. Just write the bullets down because you do know your own story. Everybody
Yeah.
knows their own story. We all know our own story. And that's the difference. When you write it and then you read it, and sometimes writing it is not how we talk.
Correct. And I
Like
must have misunderstood the assignment because I thought we did want to write it out. And when I was writing it, I was like, I wouldn't say this. This actually feels like a book that I'm writing. So
the
I think I
assignment was
misunderstood.
to, no, the assignment was to
Okay.
write it out, but you were writing it as if people were going to read it. You weren't writing it for yourself.
Okay.
That's my interpretation. I
Take
could be
away.
wrong. That's my
Hmm.
takeaway. But oh my God, when you just tell your story, it was so real and you can get all those stuff in. And so
Sure.
I'm just going to say to do that. I don't think we need to go over it again, but it
Okay.
was really interesting in that 30 seconds, how much
Hmm.
more I was already like this
Hmm.
and I was laughing and I could
Hmm.
really feel the difference. So
Yeah.
what I was
Totally.
concerned about is that, if you're in the front of the room and someone says, tell your story, and you think you need to have that on a card or whatever to kind of read it, you don't.
Yeah. Perfect.
Okay.
Yep.
That was really a good experience for me to watch that, by the way. I don't know about the rest of you.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, that was great. So do you feel complete? Do you feel like, and I love, by the way, even at the last half of your story, once you have the kids, crying with eczema and the other things that you talk about, it does tend to feel more real, even when you read that part. Like the
Sure.
last half was very much more powerful than the first half, but it also sounded more like your real words.
Sure.
Yeah. I love honestly, like I totally get what you're saying, Nikki. And yes, we all want our stories to be naturally said and not read and scripted. But I loved it. I thought every piece of it was so improved from before, and it was impactful, powerful. Boy, when you talked about your child, screaming silently, I mean, I just got a tear in my eye. It was so moving. And I thought, this is something I want on video to share with people who have kids with allergies. But then you turned it back around. I loved how you integrated the
Too.
business. The business, I thought that was so smooth, the way you incorporated that. So, yeah, I mean, you're going to make it natural and you're not going to read it later, but I thought it was so well done.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I agree with that, Caprice. I just knew that there was going to be a shift if she just did it.
Yeah.
So, but like I said, the last half of it was super powerful, even just the way it was written.
Well, thank you guys. Your feedback from our last call really helped me revise this. So I appreciate this community so much. And thank you, Caprice.
Yeah.
And thank you all.
Yeah. Good. Okay. So now not I'm only thirsty, but now I'm hungry. Thank you very much, Heidi. I'm just kidding.
I
I'm
will
getting
add, I wasn't the only one eating. Leslie was eating first, then
a,
Ashley, and then
you
and
don't have
I
to
have
defend
to eat
yourself.
for my nervous system right
Are
now.
you like fasting right now for
No,
a
I'm
procedure?
getting a procedure and they're knocking me out in the afternoon. I can't drink or eat. So I'm just
Oh
teasing. You don't
no.
need to defend yourself. Everybody can eat and drink on this call as much as they want. I'm just being funny.
But you're
So,
more like you're seeing it more now
oh, I'm
because you
just
can't
like,
do
come
it.
on. Yeah, I can't do it. It's just like if somebody goes and takes a sip of water, I'm going to
You
shoot them.
couldn't not see food or water if you
If
tried
I
right now,
if
right?
I yeah, exactly. Every commercial, everything. If I'll do this when I take a drink.
Yeah.
Wait, do you mind if I ask what
Yeah, I'm getting
do you want to still film this or record this
no,
or
it doesn't matter. It's a
okay.
medial block branch or a medial branch block or whatever. What they're doing is they're going in to my back. They're going to put in not a steroid, but something like a steroid to affect my nerves And
Okay.
then after I wake up, for the next 6 hours, I'm supposed to move and walk and do all the normal things to see if it's lessened the pain. If it's
Oh,
lessened the pain, then they know that they got the right spot and then they can go in and do an ablation. So
okay.
it's a pre-test and they actually have to do it like that because Medicare insists that they do it like that because they want you to do it the cheapest way first to see if it makes a difference. So you
Yeah.
still end up with two procedures then. So I'm not sure.
Where's the pain, Nikki?
Oh, let's not, my back is just not good.
Oh,
It's,
it's your back. Okay, yeah.
yeah,
I know you've talked
yeah,
about your
yeah,
back, but
yeah,
I
yeah.
didn't know if this was something different.
No, this is the same old shit. So I'm very excited though, because it's the first time somebody's given me a possibility of making this not hurt anymore, you know, because I've had 3 orthopedic surgeons say I'm not a candidate for surgery. So this is like the next only step. So I'm really hoping it works. Okay. So, what is the difference between having a conversation that's you guiding somebody versus a sales conversation? In your mind, or what does that look like to have a conversation where you feel like you're guiding somebody versus selling somebody?
I think you're asking more questions and letting them talk more when you're
Okay.
guiding.
I agree with Leslie.
What else besides asking more questions? Because you know what I'm thinking about is the example that a guy does going down the river. They don't necessarily, they do want to know how much experience you have down the river. Have you ever done it before? Can you swim? Are you nervous? They ask those questions, but once they're in it on the river, they're guiding you. Now you're going to put your paddle in and lean to the right. Now you're going to stop paddling. Now you're going to reverse paddle. Now everybody's going to paddle fast. Now everybody's going to paddle slow. So what else, how would you talk about that if you were in relationship to Juice Plus in terms of guiding?
Well, if they, I think the questions are essential because then you figure out where they need guiding.
Okay,
And
good.
then once you're taking notes on the areas that correlate to how Juice Plus can help, then that's when you give them the paddle and you tell them how to use it. And so that's what I would do.
Yeah, no, I think that's really brilliant, Caprice, and really quick thought of. So can you give us an example of some question that you might ask when you're talking to somebody that then you would allow, that it will allow you then to guide them in some way?
So I would say if you could change something about your health in the next year that would make your life, make you feel better, improve your life, what would it be? And
Great.
then I would listen to them and they would tell me, well, I've got this, um, constant back pain, whatever.
Whatever,
And
whatever.
and then I would ask them some additional questions about that. When did it start? What have you done for it? I would ask them kind of what the current state is and in their journey to heal. And then I would ask them if they've considered. I'd ask them, what do you know about the impact of lifestyle habits that could impact. And then they might say, well, what do you mean? And I said, well, things like nutrition. And uh, and then they would say, well, I haven't really considered how that would impact my back or my heart or whatever.
Whatever.
Yeah, that's the line I would go on.
You know, this is really great. It's so funny. I've got somebody new started on Juice Plus finally. Finally, well, no, I have two of my pickleball players. I've been playing with, Heidi, 2.5 years, and they kind of all poo-poo it. And I have two people on Juice Plus now in my pickleball group. And I realized that I really didn't ask very many questions. I just kind of talked about it to this one particular person who did get started. But I still don't know why specifically she got started on the gut thing and the super biome. I don't even know. And it just reminds me, I'm supposedly the question master, and I went right into being the teacher person, and not
You're a
asking
teacher
questions,
too.
So it's I am, but I mean, it's just so funny. I'm realizing, wow, she's fine. She got started. It worked, but I could have done it so much better. So this conversation, even for somebody who thinks they ask a million questions, is really great for me. And I'm hoping it is for all of you as well, as a reminder that when we get somebody started, and I used to ask that question all the time, Caprice, if you could, if you could wish for something in your life to make you feel better, what would you be looking for? What does it look like to feel better? And they say, well, I get headaches all the time. Or one might think I want to spend more time with my kids. It doesn't have to be health if they answer that question. They could answer it anyway, but it's a great question. So thank you for the reminder. I used to ask it all the time. I don't ask it anymore. So
It's a common line of questioning, and like when I did the master health certification, the coaching,
yeah,
that's those types of questions are like A1.
yeah.
It's all about putting them in that space. And I remember who was the woman from Temecula, her and her husband, and she
Carol
passed
Renault.
away.
Carol
Yeah,
Renault.
Carol. Remember she used to do the role playing at the front of the room, and
Yes,
that's exactly what she would start with.
absolutely. That's what I mean. I used to do it. I'm sure I
Mhm.
learned it from Carol. I probably did because she was ahead of me and I was listening to her, right? We were all listening to her. She
Yeah,
was
but it was all about having, it's all, and this is the training that I got too, about making the person envision themselves as that healthier person. And what would it take?
yeah,
Even things like on a scale of 1 to 10. On a scale of 1 to 10, where do you put your health?
yeah,
And then if they say like 6, you'd say, well, what would it take to get to a 10 or a 9?
yeah. Or even asking, what does it feel like to be the 6? Are you content with a 6? Or would you like to have it be better? They
Yeah.
might, I'm really happy at 6. I don't
Or
want to stop drinking beer and smoking my cigarettes. That gives you a lot of indication, right?
if in 5 years things haven't changed, how do you think you're going to feel?
Mhm.
Yeah. Will you still be at a 6 when you're 70, doing what you're
Mhm.
doing now at 40?
I,
Interesting.
I'm doing a presentation I told you about that. It's to 100 women in at the Yacht Club in Benicia next week, and I made my presentation, and that's how I start out with a visual of a woman who looks vibrant, healthy, not perfect. She has a little bit of weight on her, but she looks super healthy. There's a picture of her hiking. There's a picture of her in peace, like in meditation. There's a picture of her laughing with friends. And so I asked people to, I'm going to have them raise their hand. Like, what do you see in this woman? And then they're going to say, like, I already ran it by my mom, and
Yeah.
everybody's over 60. Most
Yeah.
people are over 60 in the room. And I'm going to have everyone engage and say, they'll say vibrant, energetic, at peace, healthy. So then, and then I'm going to ask them to, put their hand on their heart and close their eyes just for a moment and picture what they want picture how they want to feel, in the next 5-10 years.
Yeah.
And so then they're going to think of those words. But that's, it all came from, I think the first time I heard that was from Carol Renoa, but then it got, through all of our training, your training, then the master certified health training, all that coaching is around this kind of questioning.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
just a reminder. A lot of us have done it or, never really, we forget to keep practicing it. That's all. It's just one of those, it's remembering, not a new
Mhm.
learning, it's a remembering.
Yeah.
So, one last little question I thought that was really a great one is if somebody came to you and they said they're new, they want to do the business and they're asking you this question, which is such a great thing. I mean, if you have somebody asking this question, you've already picked a good person, I think. But if somebody would ask you, if I only have 30 to 60 minutes a day, how are you going to help, or what does that person need to do to get traction in their business if they only have 30 to 60 minutes a day? What would you advise them?
Well, I think
I,
it's,
go
sorry.
ahead.
I was gonna say something you advised me and Nikki is the start of the week, Sunday night, plan your week. Put your names in, if you want to send a text message, if you want to invite to an event, do prep work before so that when you have that moment, you can boom, 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 knock it out a lot easier. This is your phone. Yeah.
That's great. Anything else along those lines, Ashley? Oop, you're on mute.
Sorry, what was the
Is there
question?
anything else along those lines to take it a step further? To do the Sunday night planning, is there anything else that comes to mind?
I think you just really have to put the alarm in your calendar and honor that time, because we could have the best intentions in the world, but unless it's, uh, there's action steps taken. Sorry.
That's okay.
uh, so you
So cute.
plan it and then you actually work it, which
Right.
that's where I sometimes get capsized.
Yeah. So blocking your calendar, so to speak, which is an easy way to say it, and having an alarm that says, this is what I'm doing right now. Yeah, Caprice.
So I would start by helping them feel like they're not alone. Like, and I'll say, you know what, that's exactly how I was when I first started this. And I was a busy mom with 3 young kids. I was running around with a corporate job and volunteer work, and I felt like at first, how am I going to squeeze this in and build a business and actually make money? And what I learned is that I could fit it into my cracks of time, in between all of the other things I were doing, if I was really focused on the high payoff activities. So that's something that I could help you with. It's literally just maybe a 10-minute window where you learn the key video to text some of your friends. I mean, literally, it could take 5 minutes to send it to 10 people. And if you did something like that every day, the follow up, you're going to get people that want to follow up with you. And that's where I can help you.
Yeah. I really like that the remembering is that, I can help you with this. Let's pick out 4 videos that you can use for anything. Let's just have them all lined up. So on Sunday night, when it comes to, and you decide who you're going to speak to, you already know the materials that you need to use, and things to do. And it's really holding somebody's hand the first few weeks, the first month, the first whatever it takes. Heidi.
Can you repeat the question so I have clarity? Because I thought I heard something and I want to make sure that I did.
Okay. If I only had 30 to 60 minutes a day to build my business, what would I need to get some traction? What would I
But
need to
before
do?
that, did you say this is a new person?
Yes,
Someone you don't
this is
know?
a new person. I did say that. This is
Okay.
somebody just started. And that's why, the Caprice just said.
Do you already know what they do for a living or no?
Yeah, you probably do. If somebody signed up with you, I'm
Okay.
assuming that you know something about them.
Okay.
Typically, if somebody is signed up to be your partner, they're a mom or they're whatever. I mean, it may also be maybe you don't know very much about them, and then you're going to need to find out a few things before you make
Right.
suggestions. That's for
Yeah.
sure. But
That's kind of where I was thinking, like,
yeah,
get clarity on what their actually looks like, and then doing like the feel, felt, found. Like Caprice just did a perfect example of that. And I can relate to that because when I first started, I can totally relate to how you're feeling right now. Because when I first started, I hardly had any time. I was working full time in a hair salon. I was personal training. I was training for a bodybuilding competition, and my dad was really sick in the UK. So I had pretty much everything going on in my life that you could possibly imagine. But what I found was in those really small, the little pockets, the little small moments of time that I had, I was so excited to share this with so many people. I used those little pockets of time to reach out to people and share a short little video.
yeah. And I like the expression. I've heard a different expression for this, and I cannot remember what it is. I've heard the stolen moments. Pockets of time is new to me. There was another one I heard recently that was so doggone good. It was so like visual. Can't remember what it is. Somebody used it once on a call. Anyway, Ashley.
I love the feel, felt, found. I remember that. But I think something that you do so well, Nikki, is also asking them, how do you're a very successful, very busy person. How do you make important things work in your life? Like letting them start thinking instead of just telling them the answers, letting their brain start working on how could you make this happen. And this is what I even like to say, like, I'm always learning, I'm always growing. I've been doing this business a long time, but you might have a way that would work better for me, so like flipping it on its head.
I think that I don't know that I've ever said exactly that. Boy, I think that's really smart if I did. I think that gives them a lot of credit. You're a mom with 3 kids, you're part of PTA, maybe. I don't know. I know you have a busy day. You work out and stuff. How do you schedule your day to make everything happen? And how would you think scheduling this could make it happen? Because you're already good at that. it appears to be you're good at, but somebody else might say I'm a mess and I'm not good at it at all. I just fly by the frickin' seat of my pants. So, they could answer that, and then you go, okay, well, do you want to fly with this one? How do you want to fly with this one?
But I think you're encouraging them and that you're already breathing life into them from the
Yeah,
very beginning.
it assumes that you really have faith in their ability to do, which is beautiful. So, anything else come to mind here?
I just want to say thank you for that, Ashley, because it's something that Caprice and I were taught in our coaching is to let the other person have their own autonomy. And I am in talks with someone that's really kind of lagging with responding. They were really excited in the beginning when they watched the product videos. When I asked them, on a scale of 1 to 10, how excited are you to get started? 11 out of 10. How excited are you to share this with other people? 11 out of 10. And then I said, okay, I'm really excited about that. What makes you so excited to share? And then from there, asking them a ton more questions, sent the business videos. They're 1 minute and 40 seconds each. I sent two short videos, and it's been 13 days now since I sent them. And he says he's watched them, but I'm getting the alert. He's still only seen 20%. So, and you cannot shame them, right? But I really love that. Like I'm going to use that in a next text, but in a voice text and say, hey, it seems like you're really kind of snowed under right now. Is that true? And if wait for him to answer and then take it from there. But thank you for that reminder. Again, this is a call of remembering.
Yeah, it really is. All of us have been in this business a long time. We don't need to learn anything new, pretty much.
Mhm.
Pretty much. I mean, there's obviously you can always learn something new, but pretty much.
And
Yeah,
this is where you were saying about meals the other day, like being old, but still being like a standard, a staple. Like it is these reminders. This is why the repetition of like the old stuff coming back is so valuable.
absolutely. Yeah.
I have a thought about something that I used to do and I haven't done in a while. But I would say, can I, what's more important to you? Is it the fulfillment of helping others get healthier, making a difference? And these, when I say this, these can be equal. Or is it adding income to your life?
Say that one more time. That was really good.
I would say, what what's more important to you, and this can be equal, and there's no judgment either way, but what's more important to you? Some people get into this business because they really want to make a difference, they want to leave a legacy, they have personal fulfillment in helping others get healthier, and that may be more important to them. Other people really want to add income, and that's more important, though they also want to help people, but that's more important for you. What's more important? And then they would say, well, I everyone's going to lean towards I want to help people because that's just the nature. But that's okay. And then I would say, so income's not important to you.
Yeah.
And then they would say, well, it is. I would say it's equally important or a close second.
Yeah.
And I'd say, okay, so how much? So I'll ask you another question then on the income side. If you were to be able to earn with Juice Plus a nice to have, what would that be? And then they would say, well, nice to have would be an extra $1,000 a month. And then I'd say, well, um, what's a must have? If you were to leave your job, what would the must have be? And they would say, oh, it's $10,000 a month. And I'd say, okay, well, with that being the case, and you can earn 1,000 a month or 10,000 a month, depending on how much effort you put into it. So if income's very important to you, are there things in your life that aren't generating income, or maybe that you could let go to create space to work on your Juice Plus business and generate that income?
Yeah. And
So I would just have it go deeper like that.
and Caprice, it's interesting when I used to do tons of exploration calls, like, several a week at least. My question to the partner was always, is the person we're going to be talking to, do you think, because you don't always know the answer, are they more cause motivated or more money motivated? I didn't say it like that to the person we're talking to, but I did to the partner. And it's so funny because most of the time they were pretty accurate. Like you would say to somebody, something about must-haves or needs to or whatever, and they just wouldn't go there. And then you'd say to them, sounds like, you're really motivated by impact. How many people do you want to impact a month? 10 people or 100 people? And that gives you the same relationship as money, at least. It helps you define that a little bit, because there's some people that simply won't go there. And I find it so interesting no matter what you say. And I think some of you already know this story, but there was a woman that I was talking to. This is when I realized how women are so afraid to ask for money. And this was several years ago. I don't know if that still is true, but I asked her what an extra $500 a month, and she said, well, we really don't need an extra $500 a month. And I just had a sense that that was not true. And I said, close your eyes for just a second. Are you willing? She said, yes. And I said, imagine I just put into your bank account $500 every month, just $500 every month going into your bank account. What would you do differently? And she said, well, we're a homeschooling family and we can't afford all the books we need. A second ago, she didn't need $500 a month, but she couldn't even buy the books that she needed for her kids. And then it went on from there. They couldn't buy the gas to visit the family. They needed
Right.
desperately, but she wasn't willing to say that for a million reasons. Part of it, I think, is that women are the holder of the family's, in a way, happiness. And if you say that you want more, this is what some people believe. If you want more, then you're not happy now. And if you're not happy now, you can't create this happy container. So they don't want to have more. And that was what I came up against over and over and over again, women not wanting more, until we went into the basics, and then they wanted more. They just were so afraid to say it. So it's just an interesting conversation.
Yeah, I think, especially in this economy, this day and age, and I think it's always been this case, that the people that value the money are the ones that stick around. And the ones that, are either afraid to want more money, or that, say that they don't need more money, they don't stick around. I mean, look at Kristen and Lisa and like all the people that, they don't need more money.
Yeah,
They were doing it to have community and do something fun and gather people. That doesn't last. And so I think the money piece of it's really important.
I mostly agree with you. I think you're right on. I think there's exceptions to the rules, just like with everything, because Wendy Campbell, her husband, was earning a ton of money, and she was so motivated by the product and helping people because she had been a nurse and all of those things. So she actually went for it, and it wasn't about the money for her. But I can tell you, when she reached some amount of money, it was then about the money.
Right. And she talks about the money.
Yeah.
So she talks a lot about the money.
Right.
So
But at the beginning, for her to get really hooked, it wasn't about the money. And then
that's why it's got to be about both.
Yeah.
That's why it's got to be a combination.
Yeah. But you're right. I think if money is not an important piece, it's not going to last for the most part. Unless they have huge success, which she did. And that's what shifted. Anyway. So anything else, Leslie, anything that you want to add? You've been leaning in the whole time. I'm watching you watch. Listen.
No, I do have to say, there was one thing when you were talking about the difference between guiding and selling, and I had to laugh because last week my daughters and I took a cooking class, and it was Greek cooking, and there were 6 in our group. So the 3 of us were half the table, the 3. The gal that was supposed to be guiding us drove me flipping nuts because she kept jumping in and doing stuff, and I really felt like saying, I'm paying to do this. Go away. Because we're like, when it came to like pulling the phyllo dough to lay it out, I'm trying, she comes and starts, and then she starts pulling it and giving it to both sides, and I'm just standing doing nothing, and I'm like, I don't need your help.
Or tell me what to do, but don't do it.
Yeah, but the whole entire way she'd start to tell us what to do, and then she'd just start doing everything. And it's like, oh, she drove me nuts. And I didn't say anything because I thought I don't want to ruin my daughter's experience. But later, like the next day we were talking, both my daughters thought, oh my God, like she was just, I was thinking she must be in the cooking class too.
That's so funny. I had an
But
experience.
that gave me the difference, like visualizing this, like when you're guiding people versus,
Yeah, the guy down the river doesn't get out of his seat and take your paddle and do it.
yeah,
You do it
yeah,
all. And he just
yeah.
guides you. There's gonna be a big rock coming up. We're gonna lean slightly to the right. We're gonna paddle on the right faster so we can go around that rock or whatever. So
Yeah.
they don't.
No, she was taking my paddle from me right and left.
That's so
Yeah. Well,
funny.
I like the building a brand story. I have it right
Yeah.
here. Because remember he talks all about being the guide. Like you're
Yes.
the Yoda to, the hero. So
And
you're the guide to the client or prospect who's actually the hero. You're not the hero,
right.
but you're the guide to help the
And
hero succeed.
such a great reminder. And it comes back to your question is, what would your life look like? If you could just picture your life as really healthy and vibrant, what would you want to see? Just opening it like that, whatever your original question was, which was really good. That's what that is. It's letting them tell what they are looking for, not what you think they need. And we all, you start talking about gut, and then you talk about bloating, and you talk about pooping, and all the things like it's going to make you don't even know if they're pooping okay. You don't even know if they're bloated. You're just going for it. So just the reminder, constant reminder to have them to trust that they know what they want. So, all right, I think our time is up. Really appreciate everybody getting on. We all know that it really is 8:30. You and me, Ashley, now have done, I didn't show up on time last week, and you're right there with me, baby. So I don't know how it didn't sync, but I never changed my calendar. So that was probably why I kept seeing it wrong, even though I was getting on at 8:30 until last week. So any other things you need to say before we jump off?
No,
I
but I
just
like the rhythm that we've been in. We were doing these before every other week, and somehow the weekly, it's just been a nice rhythm, even though it's more.
mm,
It is
You
a
know,
nice rhythm. There's better connection. There's more energy. It really feels good to me. So,
I like it too. And I want to share a win. I did get a new partner this week, which is kind of fun. She's a raving
woo!
fan customer that really doesn't want to share, but I did share the destination flyer with her and she looked at it. So we'll see what happens. I'm gonna see if
Is
she's able to
anyone
get up the
bringing,
call.
does anybody have new team members coming to conference?
I may. I've got one she's watching airline costs, and if she decides to come, that's Brenda, which you've talked to in the past, Nikki.
yeah.
I will be looking for $100 conference ticket if she can.
Oh, yeah, I'm looking for one too. If you see anybody letting go of
Oh, my
conference.
mom has the one. She won't be coming, and I'll double check with her. But I think she got it. Was it the lowest price, 75? Right
Yeah.
when we got it? I think she might have one for that. So I'll let you guys
Well,
know.
if Leslie asked first, so reach
Okay.
out to Leslie first and then reach out to me.
Okay.
Case. And because I'm asking because I think it'd be really nice to, Nikki, if we could gather the new people together.
I'm totally open to do that at lunch on Friday. If anybody has new people, we could do a small lunch just with
Yeah,
partners and their new.
yeah. Or it doesn't even have to be a lunch. It could be like the corner of the room at dinner or something, but just like 15 minutes, just
Yeah, and that and we
getting
can
them
do.
really super excited
Yeah,
about meeting you and being with other people that they're not alone, that they're new
right.
as well with, and they can connect and grow with.
One thing I would like to say, I don't know if you guys want to do this or not, but I'm open for it. And that is that there is no prayer breakfast this time on Friday that was canceled. I can't remember
Mhm.
why. What's Heidi?
There is the health
Oh,
breakfast
that's
that
right.
Lisa and I are going to.
Right. And who's going to it? Oh, you and Caprice? Okay.
And my two team members, because one's a nurse and the other one's in the health field.
Mhm.
Okay. All right. That's right. I forgot that. That's why they did. That's why they canceled it. I couldn't remember
And I
why.
just recertified my wellness coaching and I completed the Blue Zones course as well, coaching course.
Wow, congrats.
And I'm pretty excited about that.
So cool. And I think having Blue Zone meetings and well walks and all of that is going to
Yeah,
really
I have a
benefit.
potluck tomorrow.
Yeah, that's great. I wish I could be there.
Oh, I had just a real quick win. I had a bread party 2 nights ago, and I had the first time. I mean, I've had other clients that come out of sourdough parties, but it was the first time. By the time I got home, One of the people had already placed an order, gone to my website and placed an order.
Awesome.
Yay!
So I want more of those kind.
More of those. That's so
That's
great.
awesome.
Yeah.
That's really great. Love it. Oh yeah, I was just gonna think, oh, I think I'm gonna have some sourdough and avocado and egg. And then I went, oh yeah, I can't do that.
I will say the partner came because I sent through Project Broadcast a message about omegas with a cutesy little image, and I'm happy to share it in our Stage Walkers chat if you want to see it.
Sure.
But from that, she placed an order. She wanted a cart for the omegas because she already took one, and this is the same price, but way better. And from that, I then said, "Hey, would you like to take advantage of our family health plan membership and receive 10% off?" And she said, "Boom, yes, right away." Sent her the link, and she signed up.
That's
That's
great.
great. Those are just so fun.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I've got to run. Bye,
Me too.
everybody. Great call.
Bye.
Everybody have a great
Bye-bye.
day.
I'll
Bye.
see you later, Nikki.
And I appreciate the
Send me the
8:30 time.
address.
Thank you.
Oh, I'll send you the address. And you know what? Oh, what, Leslie, what were you gonna say?
I said I appreciate the 8:30 time. Thank you.
Yeah. All right.
Bye-bye.
It is,
Bye.
can we, oh, I was gonna say, can we go back to 8:45 when her season is over, but whatever. I forget what, it was all about her season and being out the door and everything else. Anyway,
I actually prefer 8:30, I gotta say.
yeah, I
Yeah.
just, I really try to value my mornings and getting back exercises in and doing all the things. 8:30, I don't get it. I just can't get, I really don't, I could get it done. I don't. It's not that I
Mhm.
can't. If I was better organized. And I think they asked us not to bring anything. I'm just thinking out loud. I'm going to have to write it on a piece of paper. They asked us not to bring anything in to surgery, like just come with nothing. But I don't know your phone number. I can look it up, by the way. I don't know your phone number by heart because otherwise I would text you from there saying I'm awake and come get me. But they'll call you, so I've got to write. I've got to put it on a piece of paper and put it in my pocket. That's all. So
Okay.
I'm talking out loud, and I will
Okay.
text you the address right now.
Okay, great.
Uh,
Awesome.
Yeah, and then I think what'll happen is a nurse will call you when I come out of anesthesia, whatever it is, and they'll tell you how long it'll be. So it's
Okay.
it's on Creo.
Okay. I'm not feeling myself. Yesterday I was driving home from my client and I just felt tingly all over my entire body. Like it was like, I don't know what was happening, but I think it may be my cortisol levels. And I had that bar and I had to turn my camera off because I thought I was going to throw up. I felt so nauseous 10 minutes after
Whoa,
reading it. I don't know. I think my cortisol levels are not, I think they're taking a dip again.
wow.
Yeah. I think it's the only thing I can think of because I literally like felt like my body was vibrating, but not in a good way.
Yeah. And
Weird.
so are you on your own just taking the adrenals or is somebody kind of guiding you?
Yeah, he did say I've got a prescription to get it retested,
Yeah,
but I wanted to give it, I think I told you I wanted to give it 3 months on this adrenal stuff first.
yeah. And what's the adrenal stuff that you're using? What is it?
I'll show you. It's by Metagenics. I don't know if you've heard of that company.
Oh, yeah.
Um, and it's called Adreset. It's designed to promote resilience and stamina for stress-related fatigue. But this is what I was given the first time I was in adrenal fatigue.
Oh, okay. And what's the ingredients?
Cordyceps.
Hold on one second. I'm asking because this is what Jason has me on, and I just trust him so much. But I don't know, I don't know anything that, why they would choose
Right.
that versus
Well,
this.
Cordyceps mycelium extract, Asian ginseng root extract, rhodiola, magnesium. Yeah, that's it.
So it's interesting. Sounds all great stuff. All that's in here, whole adrenal bovine and adrenal cortex bovine. It's just adrenals. That's it. And it's by Pure.
All right. Well, take
I
a
don't,
picture and send it to me, and
yeah, and I don't know if that's any better or worse. I just know that he's fucking brilliant. And I don't know that your
Right.
condition is different than my condition.
Right.
I don't
At
know.
least I can take these now. So
Yeah.
Yeah, I just feel like almost itchy inside. It's a weird fucking feeling.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I don't feel like I did yesterday
Oh,
afternoon. I
wait, are we
just,
recording? Shit.